Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak in the Bag show, wrapping up a hectic week for Friday, March 9th, the heart of college basketball conference tournaments. Oh man, it's been crazy. Jim, look at my look. This is a nice look, right? I like this look. A homeless guy in a job interview look. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to. I think it's important if you're going to be a media sensation like we are trying to be. You have to have an identifiable personal style, and I think mine is homeless guy in a job interview. I love that look, Jim. What do you think?
I think it's sharp.
What's your personal style? Baby-faced killer just hanging out? What's your personal style?
I like baby-faced killer. I'll take baby-faced killer for sure.
Anyway, once again, the great news that we're all relieved by is that the time constraints have been removed.
Yes.
The time constraints have been. Hey, are we filming? Because I'm not seeing myself on the screen. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You are looking sharp.
Yeah, and so there's no comments. Is anyone watching this show?
Yeah, we got comments.
Oh, we do? Okay. We got one from Ernest Huffman, I'm seeing.
Yeah.
You see others? All right. Okay. Where is everyone? All right, yeah, so it is Friday. What is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So it is Friday, March 9th, and we've got the college basketball tournaments that are continuing today. Jim, of course, is on fire in NHL, and even coming off of 2 winners in NBA.
2-0.
Yeah, very nice. Very nicely done, Jimmy.
I felt that card was so easy. And so much respect to the chat. They were all over Brooklyn, and I just hated myself for not jumping on Brooklyn. Also, I want to give a shout out to G-Money NHL Top Shelf, who insisted that Blue Sharks game was the easiest under of the year. He was absolutely right. Also, Brent Brooksy goes 6-1. Man, this chat is so sharp. I was just extremely impressed with everybody yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see some other. So what do we got going on here? Okay. So the comments are coming in. Everything's going smoothly right now. Yes. And yesterday, once again, my friggin' God, I don't know how to get around this, Jim. My friggin' leans in college basketball and NHL cash. I loved the over in the Rangers Tampa Bay game. I knew the overs were good there, and first period full game, right?
Those 2 Florida games were so easy. Although I got a little scared that the Rangers were going to score that 4th goal late. But man, was that it was a mistake not to have a hugely successful night last night. Yeah. I have no problem with taking the Flyers there. I thought I saw value. I have no problem there. I don't like that I was so confident in the Senators, although they did outplay the Sabres pretty badly, but still.
Yeah, that's another game. I had the over, and the thing is, I had a successful day on my betting because all my leans I bet, but I didn't give them as official picks. I had the overs in the Tampa Bay game. I had overs, of course, in the Ottawa game, which I talked about, and I even had under in the Montreal Florida game, and all those cash. And college basketball, once again, I had a bunch of plays that I gave officially that didn't do so well, but the leans were just killing it. Second half's killed it, and all right. So overall, it's pretty good. I'm going to try to somehow stop doing this and convert my leans into official plays and not be frustrated like this every day. But let's get to let's see. Let's just looking at some comments here, and let's get into today's card. Of course, there's a bunch of games that started already. I did take Cincinnati minus 13.5 on the opening line. I think it closed at 16. I'm not exactly sure where it closed.
Yeah, and I have SMU on the first half.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I waited till the very last minute, so I got +9.
Okay, you tweeted that out?
I tweeted it out, tagged you.
All right, so yeah, I took Cincinnati. I didn't tweet it out or anything, but I just bet it at minus 13.5. We'll see if that one cashes. And I also took a small shot with the under in the VCU Rhode Island game. But let's get into a college basketball right now.
Ooh, look at this.
What's that?
My man Clint Anamarek says, hey guys, thanks to your show, my wife, who has never bet sports before, has agreed to a Vegas trip and a day in the sportsbook, betting and watching hockey and MMA with me. I'm stoked.
Wow, we're winning over hearts and minds, not of the fans, but of the fans' wives, Jim.
I like that.
That is not easy to do.
We can make this very healthy, a healthy passion for people, instead of a horrifying thing that leaves you 50 grand, 50 grand in the hole.
Yes. His wife was watching this show and she was like, I just like these guys. There's something about them. Sure, we can go to Vegas. Sure, we'll have a good time. Yeah, we show the fun side of sports betting, right, Jim?
Yeah, we do.
But it's only fun if you use appropriate bet sizing, right? Only fun if you use appropriate. Then it stops getting fun. And so always use appropriate bet size. Oh, Breets Beats says, been following you guys for 3 days, and I'm up $800. So glad I found you guys. Very nice, Breets Beats.
And I followed Breets Beats back on Twitter. So I'm running with him now, which is great.
Very nice. Yes, Breets Beats. The ups and downs come, and that's not a problem if you bet size appropriately. If you don't bet size appropriately, the downs will screw you, and then it's not fun. And then it's just not fun for anyone, right, Jim?
You're absolutely right. Robert Washington, 6 out of 7 yesterday. I feel like almost everybody had giant nights except for me.
I had a big night. I mean, not in my picks because I friggin' didn't give all my leans in NHL and in college basketball, but I had a big night. And,
I had a slightly profitable night.
Yeah,
slightly, but it's great. I want us to win as a group and win as a team. So I'm fine with not doing as well as everybody on the chat.
And of course, you know what the big news was from last night. You remember the big news was the San Jose game in NHL. You remember that? Did you notice what happened?
Yeah, we already. Yeah.
What
we've already mentioned
in this show. Yeah. In this show. We've talked about the San Jose game in this show.
I shouted out G Money NHL Top Shot for saying that how the under was the easiest under of the year.
No, but what happened was, because everyone liked the under, and I took San Jose -1 and the team total over, and then Brendan Cummings took the team total under. So I was like, you know what, we're gonna pray for San Jose to win by exactly 2-zip, so that Brendan Cummings will cash the team total under, the unders will cash, and I'll even break even with my -1 pick. And do you see what the final score was, Jim?
I did.
Did you remember in yesterday's show we were mentioning 2-0 final score exactly?
I do remember now. I was so caught up with being afraid of that game and then being afraid and thinking that the over could hit and then G Money telling. So I was just caught up in my own drama within the game.
No, I'm too tired to hype this up right now, Jim. But yesterday, don't you remember? Watch the show. I do remember. I was like, all right, you know what would be ideal? Let's just hope that it winds up exactly 2-zip San Jose, and then everyone cashes, and it landed exactly. As soon as I said that, I was like, I know this is going to wind up 2-zip San Jose. And Brendan Cummings, I guarantee you, the next time if he's on that show in the afternoon, he will be mentioning that for sure. But okay, all right. So let's get into it. Bill Buttlicker says it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yes, it certainly is.
It does feel good. It does feel good to be back here with you guys, man.
So I wonder what brand newbies to the show think when we're like, man, I just love Bill Buttlicker so much. He nailed it last night, and all of our commenter names that we use here. All right, so let's.
Nice. We have Guatemala being represented.
Oh shit, Guatemala, Eric Nisbet. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so and there we go. King Rail says, Cavs. You are all going to be happy. All right, we will talk about that.
Except for SJ Shark Ruiz.
What do you mean? Didn't he have San Jose? He agreed with me.
I thought he did. Yeah,
I thought he did. I thought he said that he. Oh no, I think he might have liked the over or something. I don't remember. Or maybe he's talking about... All right, anyway, let's move on to a college basketball, Jim.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we'll start with the 12:30 game, Texas State against Louisiana Lafayette. Louisiana Lafayette obviously could roll here, but it was just a no play for me. There's not a lot of plays that I actually bet on this one. I did bet Cincinnati. I hit that one on the opening line. And I did bet Kentucky, but... I don't know if I guess Kentucky is that a day game or a night game? I didn't realize that Kentucky's leading rebounder has an injury and might be out, Jim. Did you know that?
Yes,
yeah.
But... I think the big story and the reason why a lot of people still believe Kentucky will roll is because Mayton has had his jaw pretty much wired shut now for 5 days. And he's, averages 20 points a game for Georgia. So he's only been taking in liquids. And now this is the third game in 3 days. I think we might be asking a little too much of this great player.
I bet Kentucky on the opening line of -5. It's now 5 or 4.5. That was before I realized that Kentucky's leading rebounder. And Kentucky, obviously a great team. They are young, though. Not quite the kind of team that makes me feel confident can weather injuries to top players so well. You know what I'm saying?
So what lines do you have right now?
Well, it's 4.5 or 5.
Okay.
So it hasn't really moved. I bet it at 5. And and here you go. Greg Schneider. I'm on Alabama and Kentucky -5. All right. So that was one game that I definitely bet.
I think they can win. Let's just stick on this game for a second. I think they can win without the freshman. Who is hitting the boards. I think that we're asking for too much out of Mayton, and I agree that Kentucky is the play here. I'm seeing a bunch of 4.5s. So I'm going to jump on the full game here.
You want to make that one? Okay, Kentucky. The best line right now is -4.5, -103. That is the current line at Pinnacle, minus 4.5, minus 103. And yeah, I'm going to think about it before the end of the show. I'll make a decision. Another play that I did bet Tulsa minus 4 over Memphis. Memphis, of course, got the win against South Florida, but that was one of my plays yesterday. I took South Florida, and South Florida, of course, covered. Memphis, a very inconsistent team. Tulsa, a solid team, been playing good defense. I did take the under on that one, and I also took Tulsa minus 4. That's now up to 4.5 or 5, so I bet that one. I bet a bunch of totals, which I'll get to in a second, but as far as the sides are concerned, not too many as of right now. I didn't look in depth into the evening games, and as far as the sides are concerned, I hit Cincinnati, hit that one as a max play, and I hit Kentucky minus 5, and I hit Tulsa minus 4, and that's about all that I hit, Jim, I think. Oh no, I also hit. I did hit Southern. I'll admit that one. I hit Southern over Arkansas Pine Bluff at minus 1. That's now down to a pick'em or plus 1, so that's not great. And I also took a shot with who did I take? Who did I take? That Prairie View, Prairie View plus 3.5 against Texas Southern, and that line has moved just a little bit, not a huge amount. All right, Jim, that's it for college basketball for me for now. Any picks you want to add for college basketball?
I'm not sure if I'm going to add any picks, but I would like to go through some of these comments. Before we hammer the sports comments, Brent Brooks says Guatemala has the finest snatch.
No, really?
Yeah, and Bill Butlicker has lived in Guatemala for 12 years. I did not know that Butlicker was from Guatemala.
I did not know that.
Or living in Guatemala.
I had no clue they had great snatch down there. Is that true?
I wouldn't know, but I can imagine.
Yeah. I can certainly. No, I can certainly imagine it, Jim. I can certainly imagine. It just wasn't real. I didn't realize that was a fact there.
Oh shit. Okay. Thank you, Al Mack, coming into the. We're talking about some of the great calls that this chat was delivering yesterday. Al Mack, remember him saying, if you take every single over.
Yes.
You will end up over 55%. And it was much more than that. The overs went 32 and 23 plus 6.12 units.
Yep. Very, very nice. Overall, yesterday was a chaotic day, but I wound up positive. Seems like most people were positive. We got a lot a lot of great comments. My tweets cashed, which is nice. Now that's up there forever for everyone to see, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. And Rostradamus says, top of the morning, fellas. Nets straight up his snatches. Y'all thought I was crazy, didn't you?
I
LOL.
love that.
We did think he was crazy.
That was the Genius Award, I think. Or maybe Al Mack should share it too. Both of them though were very, very impressive. I loved when he came in and said, I'm taking them on the money line plus 260.
Yeah, absolutely. Rostradamus called. We're going to try to have a new feature in this show where people make ballsy calls like that. Big money line calls, and they cash. Rostradamus, he called Nets straight up, and we definitely all thought he was crazy in the show. We were like, this guy's crazy. Let's just move on. Well, look what happened. He was not crazy. Turns out he was a genius.
He's a great capper.
He's a genius, and we just didn't recognize it, Jim.
No, I don't know why. I don't know why you wrote him off. I wasn't writing him off.
Nets money line, Nets straight up. I just wrote it off. I wrote him off. I was like, this guy's crazy. But turns out he's a genius. So he gets one of the two Genius Awards from yesterday. One goes to Al Mack, just a really great read on the card in general. Predicted that if you bet every over, you would hit. And that did come out to 32 and 23 plus 6 units at minus 110. And co-Genius Award to Rostradamus, calling the Nets straight up on a win, despite the fact they got in late due to the storm, right? And that's what you got going on in this show every day from these commenters. Very, very impressive.
More commenters here. Hal Abraham says, gentlemen, it's International Women's Day. Lay off the snatch hunting. And I'll have you know, Hal, you are the only one hunting. You're the only one hunting snatch. We are just respecting it and talking about how impressive it is in Guatemala.
Oh, there you go. Here's Brandon Cummings. Brandon Cummings says, hey, Loshak, how are you? What's up, Brandon Cummings? We just talked about the San Jose game earlier in the show. Landed exactly the way we hoped. San Jose won 2-0. So all the unders covered. Brandon Cummings' team total under covered. My team total over lost, but my -1 play on San Jose cash. So it was all good. All right, let's move into
one more comment there. Ryan Gosling saying, "Morning guys, getting married in July. Trying to convince my fiance to honeymoon in Costa Rica so I can secretly come and visit Loshak in the bag and Spidey across the street and Wanma. Oh yeah, man, join us."
Just have your fiance watch the show. I think she'll be like, you know what? These guys aren't too bad. I like them. You know what I'm saying, Jim? All right, let's move on.
Let's do it.
College basketball now. Let me just look at some of these totals, because there are some totals that I did hit, just a few of them, and I think I might want to give them out. I had some cashers yesterday with my totals, like the Louisiana Tech under. Some were bad, like the Duke under and the Western Kentucky under. That one didn't cash. I do feel like I did take a shot with the under in the Tulsa game. That's now moved up to 142. That's not a good sign. Thinking that the Kentucky-Georgia game might go under as well. That's at 137. Definitely I hit the Western Kentucky Old Dominion game at the opener of 141, and that is now down to 138. So that's not a good.
Can you talk any more about that game? Because Brian Watson wants that game handicapped. It's a very exciting one. Western Kentucky absolutely destroyed UAB. It made me look like a clown yesterday. Do you have any feel on the sides there?
No, it's got second half written all over it for me, and I pounded the under when it opened at 141. It's now down to 138. Don't like to do this, but I'll throw it on there. Under 138 as an official pick, minus 110. Minus 110, that's an official pick. And let me check out the first half under. That might be an even better bet here. Let me find the first half under on this one, probably like 60. Here it is. Hold on. Just checking the totals here, the first half totals here. Western Kentucky, Old Dominion. Let me find it. 64.5. That's cutting it close, but I definitely like the unders there. Full game under and the first. All right, fine. I'll throw on the first half under. What the hell? It's a 64.5. I'll make that one an official pick. Under 64.5, minus 110. I only hit the first half, the full game under at 141 when it opened for myself. And so that's my opinion on that game, Jim.
Yeah, I'm gonna be capping that game for sure as soon as this show's over. So I'll tweet it out. I'll have to get that out. But there are plays that I like quite a bit, but they're late enough for us to hammer them on the late show. So I'm gonna stay off and if I really need to get a line, I'll tweet it out.
In the 6 o'clock game, I also kind of like the unders in the George Mason St. Joseph's game. I did hit that one. That one is at I've hit it at 149.5. Now that's up a little bit. A few places have 150.5, but I'm definitely kind of liking that one. And I will fine. I'll throw those on there as well. St. Joe's, George Mason under. I'll throw on the under and the first half under as well. Jim, did you look at that game at all?
No, I didn't. But man, did that fucking under in the Baylor West Virginia game make me want to throw my computer through the window.
Well, I like the first half under in that one more than the full game anyway, because their first two games went way under in the first half, and then the scoring opened up in the
very
second
smart
half
player.
for sure. Yeah.
I thought I had that fucking locked, and losing it by 2.5 points with a 100-point fucking second half.
Okay, I'm gonna take the unders in the St. Joe's game too, even though Almac is probably, I don't know what Almac would say about the totals in today's card, but he certainly had a great read on the unders on the overs in the night games in yesterday's card. So I'm going to take first half under 70 minus 110, full game under 150.5 in the George Mason and St. Joe's game, and I'm definitely liking the under in the Tulsa Memphis game as well, and I'll take that one too. I'll take Tulsa Memphis first half under and the full game under. Let me just find the best lines there. I bet that one, and that line is headed up, which is not a great sign, but I'll take it. 142.5 at UWager. Wow, that line is really headed up. UWager has 142.5 minus 110. All right, I'll take it. And the first half line for Memphis Tulsa total under would be 66.5 at UWager. All right, I will take that one. 66.5 minus 110. UWager clearly a lean to the over in this one. All right. Anything else? Any other comments coming in, Jim?
Yeah, some interesting comments coming in now. Almac's watching. I'm lucky enough to know what Almac likes on his totals, but I'm not going to just read them out because, I mean, unless he wants me to. Or he. So, Al, if you want, because I know Al's got a few totals that he really likes that look great.
Were they on the opposite side of anything I just said?
No.
Okay, good.
No. And then Hit Money says, please bet against all. So we're talking NBA. Please bet against all tanking teams when they are away. He says it's 44-0. I mean, I'd have to look into that, but don't bet college basketball, NHL, or anything else.
44-0.
Yeah, I have to look into that.
That's harder to believe than there's great snatch in Guatemala, Jim.
Well, that's because the snatch comment is very easy
very believable.
To believe.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Wow, Jim is sharp today. Jim's on the fucking ball today, Jim.
Mavs, Suns, Grizz, Kings, Hawks, Bulls. He says fade them all when they're on the road. And in fact, I will not be doing that this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I'm not going to be doing that. And I'm very curious now to see if I'm completely wrong. Hit Money. On the money line, they're 44. I think that some of these big terrible road dogs came
here we
cover.
go. Al Mac says read them out if you want. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Al Mac. Almac, I will say, he says, I like a lot of overs today, specifically Virginia over and Duke over. And then also someone saying, Pete, no, the unders burned you yesterday. Yes, underdog status says, no, Pete, the unders burned you yesterday. Yeah, they did in my official picks. I had some others that were leans that didn't burn me, like the Louisiana Tech ODU under. So I'm going to take, the St. Joe's under. I mean, St. Joe's can be a high-scoring team. So can George Mason, obviously. That one I like the least. The Tulsa game, Tulsa's been playing good defense, and Memphis is inconsistent. So I feel like that one is an okay game to take on the unders. And the Old Dominion game, of course, I like more than the other two on the unders. I did hit it at 141. It's now down to 138. So these are, 3 games where I'm taking the first half and full game unders, and they might be a little bit dicey. But all right, Jim, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, Almac has 3 overs that I think are very good. Vitalis coming in saying, I've got the Bulls covering on the road +8. Yes, I like the Bulls to cover, but we'll get to that when in the basketball segment, NBA segment. Almac, and I look how fortunate am I. Look at this, Pete. Just to give you an idea of how I should be winning every day.
Yes.
Because look at what Almac sends me. Just if you could take a peek over here at just some of the this is monologues on why he thinks certain games. Look at that monologues.
Oh, God, that is so awesome, Jim.
It's phenomenal. So he likes these overs, and I like them too. I'm going to hammer them a little more before I throw them in. And but these are sharp, man. He likes the Virginia over, the Villanova over, and the Duke over. And those
are all night games, right?
Yes, those are all night games. And he likes the Texas Southern under. I think he's on a really nice spot with all these games, and I'm very thankful to get a look at them early. And I'm going to hammer these capping, but knowing that this will. Having this knowledge already really helps.
Well, if he likes Texas Southern under, then that might mean that he would endorse the play on Prairie View A&M as a dog, which is a bet that I made. All right, let's wrap up the college section. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything. Alabama-Auburn is an interesting game. I'm going to pass on that one. Obviously, Auburn is a great team. They're laying kind of a lot of points, though, to Alabama, especially considering how Alabama beat Texas A&M. They just look like a scrappy team now that might not necessarily win here, but not the kind of team you want to be giving points to, in general. Again, I bet on Tulsa, and again, I bet on Southern. I might take that one. Kentucky, I bet that one, and that's a 3:30 game start. Other games are just scanning down. Yeah, and then in the evening games, we'll get to those later on, although I think I'm going to throw on Prairie View A&M right now. I will throw on PV A&M. I'll make that one a pick right now just in case that line moves. Intertop still has +3.5, -115. I'm taking that one. Prairie View A&M +3.5, -115. That's an official pick, and I did bet that one. Jim, something exciting happened?
Yes, SMU has a 2-point lead with 12 minutes left in the first half.
Very nice.
Yesterday, I got my day off winning, and it didn't help. But it still feels good.
Yeah, right. Okay. Let me think. Do I want to give Tulsa as an official pick here over Memphis? I probably should. They're not a good team, Memphis. They're an okay team, but they're inconsistent. Let me just think about that for a second. Anything else that you want to say, Jim, before I make my final decisions on these games here?
Yeah, my man Trevor says, Jimmy, which sport hat gives you the most luck? And he says, I think it's the Blue Jays cap. And I tell you what, Trevor, I do not believe in luck. I don't care. I don't believe in all that shit. Yeah. So
okay, there you go. There you have it from Jimmy the Bag. While I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, I might take money lines on these games and do the first halves as well. Let me see what the first half spreads would be on the Tulsa game. Yeah, -2.5. The Kentucky game -2.5. So I'd have leans to Kentucky first half -2.5, lean to Tulsa first half -2.5, and then probably just leans to the money lines on both of those just in case they wind up winning by 3 or 4. I think that both teams are likely to pull it out. Yeah, the Tulsa line. Wow, it opened at -166 on the money line. Now it's up to -215.
Ooh, my man Slew says, French Canada loves you, Jimmy and Pete.
Nice, very nice. French Canada.
One beautiful women.
I would love to be a citizen of Canada. Oh my God, and just hang out in French Canada all the time. Man, that is awesome. All right, all right, I will, okay, I'm going to take both Tulsa and Kentucky on the money line as official plays. I like them both. I bet them both, and it's a weak sauce play to be taking them on the money line, but I'm going to do it. Tulsa has a money line of -210 at Bet365, and Kentucky has a money line of -200 at Intertop. So I will take both of those. Kentucky -200 money line, Tulsa money line -210, and that's going to be it for me, Jim.
Man, I think there's going to be more because we'll bounce through the NBA and the NHL and we'll come back, give you some time to sit on some
All right,
things.
let's jump to NHL. It's a short card today. Once again, Jimmy the Bag a little bit now down from his high water mark. He's lost about 0.4 of a unit yesterday. I had yet another winning day in NHL. I'm climbing up, and if I had just given my friggin' leans on the Tampa Bay first period over and the full game over, and I said Buffalo, Ottawa. I said it, Jim. I said, why do we not like that one? Didn't you remember I said that one, Jim? And you were like, well, what line do we get for that? I said 5.5 at plus money. You're like, that's interesting. I was like, why do it was my lean. It's in my lean category, Jim. And also Montreal, Florida on the under. I like that one. But it's nice I had a winning day anyway. Today's NHL card, a short one. I guess the first thing that caught my eye is once again the next game with, well, I guess the first one that caught my eye is Minnesota against Vancouver. Minnesota very well rested. They're playing well. They're playing better on the road. Vancouver at times can be a nice team with sneaky value, but they're also in general not a very good team. Do we like Minnesota here, Jim, on the puck line?
We do like Minnesota, although Henrik Sedin was the captain that he always has been. God, you got to love him. You got to love when the guys say the right things in the dressing room, and I love fading the teams who don't. And this does get me give me a tiny bit of concern because he says, I can promise we'll be a different team Friday night. That's for sure. If we're not, then we really have to look ourselves in the mirror. Now, I love hearing that, but this is just a bad hockey team. They only lost 2-1 to the Coyotes, but they were outshot 34-17, and the Coyotes hit 3 posts. Canucks are just banged up and playing out the string. Donald Mouse says Canucks can be on and off. I mean, they're a bad team with a good power play, and it's not as good without Brock Boeser in front of the net. I think that it's okay for us to write them off at this point, but I still love what Hank said. Wild are a rested squad, just like you said, coming off a 6-2 dominant home win over the Hurricanes on Tuesday. They've won 2 straight, 7 of 9. Eric Stahl is having an absolutely amazing year. I did not think he was capable of this. He has joined the Hart Trophy race. I can't even believe I'm saying that. When he got ditched, when he played the 20 games with the Rangers and only got 3 goals, 3 assists, I just thought he was kind of done. His 36 goals placed among the lead leader, 16 goals in his last 17 games. 7-2-1 over their past 10. Remo says effort will be there for Vancouver, and I agree. The effort will be there. I just don't think they have the squad to pull this off.
So are you going to make it a pick or are you going to pass, Jim?
I'm taking the Wild on the puck line.
Really? Okay, I'll take it too then. I'm going to take it on the -1 line, of course. Puck line, best line, plus 186. That's the current line at Pinnacle, although 5 Dimes has plus 190. And I will take Minnesota on the -1 line, even though the line's a little bit high. Money line, best line would be -160. That's a market line. And the puck line, plus 186 at Pinnacle. So that's a small underdog line there for Minnesota on the -1 line. If it loses, I'll be okay with eating a unit loss on that one. It just feels like Minnesota should have the edge here.
The only thing that could happen, I don't mean the only thing, obviously, but I think that what could happen is you just push with the G-Money NHL Top Shelf says Canucks have great leadership. They always have with those Sedins. But Mini are scoring at a rapid pace with Vancouver injuries. He's taking Mini on the puck line and taking the over.
Yes, I was thinking over as well. Jim. And that would mean also maybe Minnesota on the team total over. But I'm guessing one of these 3.5s at plus money. Yeah, 3.5 plus 140 at Pinnacle. So, yeah. I was thinking over as well, Jim.
Yeah, I can't trust this Canucks team to score against a solid team like the Wild. But I can understand people making that play. I'm not going to be on it. Al Max says, I think Vancouver is totally deflated after Boeser getting injured. Just Boeser and a slew of others. They have a lot of leadership, and I love the Sedins, but, man,
But if you think that Vancouver's going to have some fight to them here, then doesn't that mean that probably at some point during the game they're going to be able to put in a couple of goals and then you're probably looking at a 6 at least?
No, I don't think that's what it means. Unfortunately, I love this is my team. You know, I wish that's what it meant. But if that was the case, if it was all about effort, we'd be in the playoffs.
So you think that, but you still think this is a spot where it's not a down spot for them psychologically based on what you've read, Jim?
No, and Hank will say that in the dressing room, and he'll look everybody in the eyes. I just don't think it matters. I just don't think they have the skill. It does matter. It does matter. Sorry, I shouldn't say, but I just don't think they have the skill set to follow through with what Hank hopes, what his hopes are. Donald Mouse says Wilder at home. No, it's in Vancouver. And Rem Most, another great capper, says if Minnesota team total is 2.5, then the over would be the play.
Right, except it's 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 plus 140. I don't really love to take those. All right, the over's going in my lean column. for this game, but I'm not going to take it. Minnesota -1 is an official play for me, and Jim's taking them on the puck line. Now let's talk about the Calgary-Ottawa game, Jim. You liked Ottawa yesterday, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, and they lost, didn't they?
They did.
But now here they are as a home dog against Calgary, and you have Calgary circled as a team that sucks. They're coming off a win, and they're a huge road favorite here. This has got to have you scratching your head a little bit, right, Jim?
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I think the line makes sense. I mean, the Senators are bad. I mean, even when they completely outplay a team, they lose 4-3 in a shootout. The play here is a play that Al Mack and I went over quite a bit this morning, and Al Mack had a series of excellent notes. I'll give Al Mack's notes because they're probably even better. My notes aren't trend related; they're more matchup and breakdown related. But Al Mack had some incredible trends. Here they are. Over is 7. So I'm on the over here.
I was liking the over as well, Jim.
I love the over here. Al Mack says over 7-1 in Flames' last 8 road games. Over's 4-0 in last 4 Senator home games, and we have 2 backup goalies in net. Over is 4-1 in Flames' last 5 after allowing 2 goals or less in the previous game. Over is 6-1 in the Senators' last 7 when their opponent allows 2 or less goals in the previous game. Flames are coming off a 5-1 road win over the Sabres, the first win in 5 games. They're 2 points out of a wild card spot. That's why I can't take Ottawa on the dog line. This game means too much to the Flames. Their season is right in front of them, and they need to grasp it. David Riddick is expected to get the start tonight. Made 25 saves in the win over the Sabres. Ottawa in the second half of a back-to-back. We talked about that game. Duchesne said they dominated the Sabres last night and deserved better. He's a whiny bitch. They're a healthy squad. Mike Condon will be in net tonight. He's 4-12-5, 3.24 goals against average, 9-1 save percentage. Senators are 14-13-6 at home. They're not a bad play. I think we'll find value with them at home. But this Flames team needs this win. So I like the over. I'm comfortable with it and going to take it.
Okay, I'm taking the over as well. I'm also going to take the Ottawa team total over. So Jim's going to take the over as I will. We're going to get 5.5 minus 110. That's the current line at the Greek. And I'm going to take the Ottawa team total over 2.5 plus 101. That's the current line at Pinnacle. All right, Jim. And I'm also thinking the first period over is going to go into my leans column as well. That's just minus 118 right now at Pinnacle. All right, Jim. Let's move on. I guess Anaheim Dallas is an interesting game, right? Dallas is Anaheim. We know you're high on Anaheim, right? In general, we know that Dallas, even though they're great at home, is a team that you don't mind fading. And if you have any reason to at any point, Anaheim's getting a big number here. Jim, what's your take on this one?
Well, I have a take on this one, and I also want to know what other guys thought of this game because this was a tricky spot, and I didn't want to just hammer it because you guys know that I like the Ducks. Man, did Al Mack have some great points. I'm going to read Al's points first because he had some excellent ones here. He said Anaheim is 20-15 on the puck line on the road this year. They are dogs in this situation too. They're 15-13-2 on the road. That makes Al interested in taking them on the money line, especially with only 2 OT losses on the road. That's huge, combining with that puck line stat. Dallas is also 15-21 on the puck line at home. Ducks have a bad record against Dallas over years past, but I don't care much for that stat. Ducks are 4-1 in their last 5 games that are in the 4th game of a 6-day situation or 6-game situation. So that tells me that travel might not be as taxing on them as it is on other teams. And I agree with those points, and I'm leaning Anaheim, and I'd like to be pushed over the edge. Greg Schneider says, like the Ducks, money line. Both teams are coming off losses to the Predators. Predators are a dominant hockey team. I hope you already have your futures in. The Ducks are on the second half of back-to-back. They lost 4-2 last night. Raquel scored 2 third-period goals. Now has 8 goals in his last 5 games. Getzlaf has 11 points in his last 4 games. Ryan Miller is expected to get the start. He's looked worse on the road than he has at home, but he's had a good year as a backup. 2.5, 2 goals against, 9.25 save percentage. Ducks are 4-1-4 in the second half of back-to-back games this season. That's a pretty good record. 15-13-7 on the road, 7-2-1 over their past 10. Stars lost at Nashville 2-0 on Tuesday night. They're a fresh squad. They've lost 2 straight. They're looking to avoid their first 3-game skid since mid-December. They've alternated wins and losses in their last 8 home games. They're not playing well there. And of those 8 games, 5 of those games are 1-goal decisions. Now, Lettinen will be the starter. Radek Faksa and Esa Lindell are supposed to be back tonight, but we've heard different things about Faksa. Al Mack watched Faksa a lot in juniors and said he's an absolute beast, and says that whether Faksa is in or out is very key to him making a decision in this game tonight. And Hansel is going to be out for a long time. His back injury is long term. I like the Ducks here. And I just think there's value here. I'm not saying that they're going to win. If this was a pick'em or a minus or a plus 120, I probably wouldn't take it. But I'm getting enough value here to take the Ducks on the money line, and I'm going to do it.
Okay, you want it. Yeah. Okay. Anaheim, best line right now is across the board, plus 140. Plus 140 at most places. Is that enough for you, Jim?
Yep.
All right, and I made some decisions here. I am going to add on the Ottawa first period over as well. I'm tripling up on this game, 1.5 minus 118, and I'm also going to add the over in the Minnesota-Vancouver game, over 5.5 minus 109. So I'm throwing on that one. Those two plays on there as well. And Jim's adding on Anaheim plus 140. And now let's talk about Detroit-Columbus. You know, Detroit kind of a team in free fall, but they're getting a big number here. They're still a professional NHL team, Jim. And Columbus, we know that psychologically they can be a team that can falter at times. They're exactly the kind of team that I like to fade as a big favorite. What do you think about this game?
I was shocked that the Jackets didn't seal the deal against an Avalanche team that's much better than the Red Wings. So I expect them to seal the deal this evening. They have to. I just don't see a way that they don't. Now, Zetterberg was upset, just like Hank with the Canucks. Zetterberg was upset. Both teams are on the second half of a back-to-back, but the Red Wings looked awful in their 4-0 loss at home. Zetterberg said there was too much poke and hope. I like that term. I'd never heard it before.
Yes, I never. And by the way, Udumpour and Ratanafaki asking about the Ducks team total over, which is interesting. It would be 2.5 at plus 111. So if you like Anaheim here and Lettinen is in goal for Dallas, right? That might be Udumpour and Ratanafaki might have put me on a play here, Jim. Anaheim team total over 2.5 plus 111.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad play. It's plus number
2.5. What do you expect from Lettinen here?
Lettinen has had a good season, but for whatever reason, he tends to play better on the road than he does at home.
And Anaheim can put up some points if they need to, right?
Anaheim can score goals.
I'm doing it. It's a personal thank you. I'm shouting out a personal thank you to one of our favorite long-term commenters, Udumpour Ratanafaki. That's his real name, Udumpour Ratanafaki. I'm taking it. Anaheim. Team total over 2.5 plus 111. Plus 111 over 2.5. Thank you so much, Udumpour and Ratanafaki.
I'm amazed that you're getting a plus line on that.
That's right. That's right.
I got to go on that.
Well, I mean, it makes sense when you look at the lines. I mean, the reason you're getting a plus number is because Anaheim's a big dog. Anytime you have a big dog, the team total is going to be low. You know what I'm saying?
Count me in.
You sure? Okay. Yeah. Jim's going to try to pat. Jim and I are both going to try to pad our records here with a play tipped to us by Udumpour Ratanafaki. Team total over 2.5 minus plus 111. Over 2.5 plus 111. All right, Jim. What were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I really wanted to get.
Oh no, please do. No, don't think twice.
Okay, Detroit, Columbus, Jim.
Yes, Zetterberg. Poke and Hope. I was talking about Poke and Hope. I might use that line down at the Hotel Del Rey. This weekend.
Brent Brooks says wrong. Anaheim will lose. All right, if they lose, the team total could still cash. But
Brooks went 6-1 last night in the NHL, so I don't like seeing this. But he lives in Dallas.
Okay. So. Yeah, I'm not so sure I like Anaheim on the money line, but I definitely like Anaheim. I mean, I could easily see a 4-3, 5-3 win from you know what I'm saying, something like that. So we'll see.
Yeah. Come on, SMU, don't fall apart. Okay. So Zetterberg did speak out about how he's disappointed with the way the team is playing. Franz Nielsen is still in concussion protocol. He hurts, but I was surprised how much he does hurt. Nice. G Money says G Money NHL Top Shelf is with us. With us, Udumpour,
great.
I like to play. Okay, so the Red Wings 13-16-3 on the road, but they're 2-6-2 over their past 10. The Jackets defeated the Avalanche 5-4 in overtime last night. The win gave them their first 3-game winning streak since winning 6 straight. Seth Jones scored the winning goal. Zach Werenski is a beast, scored a goal for the third time in 4 games. Thomas Vanek scored his first 2 goals in the Blue Jackets uniform. It's a good sign that they won the 2 games with Korpisalo because he's no Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky will be good to go tonight, and I'm sure when he's confirmed, which he hasn't because he's sick, I'm sure that line will change. Maybe it already has. Maybe he's confirmed, and that's why it is the way it is. But I'm taking the Jackets on the puck line.
Okay, the Jackets on the puck line. Let me find the best puck line for you. Would be plus 150 at the Greek. Plus 150. So Jim's going to take Columbus puck line plus 150 at the Greek. All right, and we've covered every game, Jim, with a lot of picks on just 4 games. Shall we move on?
We shall, but just quickly, Nasty Nate says best NHL bet today, and I'm looking over, and I'm curious to see what you think is the best. I think the one that is most most likely to hit is the over in the Flames-Senators game. But I think the best bet value-wise is the Wild puck line at plus 186.
Okay, so once again, Jim is on Minnesota puck line plus 186, Ottawa over 5.5, Anaheim money line plus 140, Columbus puck line plus 150, and the Anaheim team total over 2.5 plus 111. And I'm on Minnesota -1, Ottawa over 5.5, Ottawa team total over 2.5, Ottawa game first period over 1.5 minus 118, the Vancouver game over 5.5 minus 109, and the Anaheim team total over 2.5 plus 111. All right, let's move on to NBA. Let's move on to NBA. It's a pretty big card tonight, and Jim, of course, two nice in the midst of all the chaos yesterday. Jim still found a way to find two nice solid plays in NBA yesterday. Both of them cashed relatively comfortably. Tonight, 10 games on the card. 8 of them had overnight lines. I looked at those. Let's start with the most interesting game pretty much every time they play, the Cavs. What do you think? Do you think that this is a down spot for the Cavs? The Clippers are a team that can roll, and they're just a 1-point favorite right now, Jim.
Yeah, I'm just getting killed by the Cavs, day in and day out, all season. Hit Money still talking about that spot, and I feel you, man. He just says parlay the money lines, and I feel you, Hit Money, and we're thankful to have you as part of our chat, my man. So don't think just because I'm going to take some of these guys on the spread doesn't mean we're very thankful with having you involved here. Udon Porn says Minnesota, Vancouver. What do you got, Jimmy? I got the puck line with the Wild. So the Cavs are coming off a 113-108 road victory at Denver. It was very impressive. Yeah. LeBron went for 39 points, 10 assists, 8 boards. They've gone 6-4 since the trade deadline. Second game of a season-high 6-game road trip. Larry Nance is going to have to be a beast again. 34.5 minutes, 17.5 points, 14 boards in his last 2 games with averages. Clippers are just 2-2 on this road trip, but they've gone 9-4 since Blake Griffin was traded without the services of Gallinari and Bradley. N16 Nighthawk says Cavs as a dog is the play. Bill Butlicker says Clippers. It's hard to get a read on the Cavs, I guess, but it does feel like they popped Denver, right? This is not a team that gets 2 nice big wins in a row like that, right, Jim? I don't know what the team is anymore. After they traded half of their roster, I don't know who they are or what they are. I guess I'd be probably more interested in maybe a totals play.
The over?
Thinking
First
the over
quarter would be 59.5. First half it would be. I'm just a little bit concerned that they might start a little bit unexpectedly playing a little bit tighter defense. The first half over is 118. That's tempting. First half over. What do you think?
Tomor says LeBron on national TV in LA. This is a good spot for him. Cleveland's bench is much deeper. Loshak's Pruneshine says Larry Nance 20 points, 20 boards tonight.
Jeremy M likes Clippers and the under 231.
Yeah, and the line is moved in the game. Full game under has gone down 2 points.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make a move on this game.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pass. Tomor says Cleveland has been a good bet against mediocre and bad teams. They've struggled against top teams. And Nasli says Cavs will win, guys. Let's talk about the Pacers game. Goose says, didn't Goose say, is Goose one of the people who liked the Nets last night?
He certainly did. He loved it. He was all over it. God damn, I should have jumped on, especially when JP Fahey came in and gave us the flight information. Right. I was like, fuck, what am I doing, man?
All right, now Goose says, has another play he's really liking, and he has repeated it 3 times. Pacers under 210. Pacers under 210. Pacers under 210. Play of the millennium. No shit. That's a pretty... Woo. The best play of the entire millennium happens to be going tonight, and it's the under in the Indiana Pacers game. Imagine that, Jim. What do you think? How can we ignore that?
I love the call, man. Smooth is on the Pacers, too. Also, Aaron Escobar coming in with an excellent note saying Cavs are 19-3 without Tristan Thompson in the lineup. The Kardashian curse is real. How are they fucking 19-3 without Tristan Thompson? Hit Money says Carlson is back for Indiana tonight. I know that he is. I'm curious to see what he will do with the pace. But, man, the Pacers aren't playing well. Hawks are coming off a 106-90 loss at Toronto on Tuesday night. They've lost 6 of 8. But one of those wins, was at home over these Pacers. 107-102. That under might be... Oh, but Tomor coming in saying, I like Indiana and the over. Smooth is on the Pacers as well. Hawks are just 5-26 on the road. Pacers overcame Oladipo's terrible game to beat the Bucks 92-89. But they were unable to overcome a second terrible game by Oladipo row in a 104-84 loss at home to Utah. He scored only 27 points last 2 games, 11 for 38 shooting, 13 turnovers. After hitting 38.3 of his threes before the All-Star break, he's now hitting 24.2 afterwards. Pacers as a team went just 3 for 23 from 3 versus the Jazz. Miles Turner is playing very well. He said it's a game. This game tonight is a game we've got to take personally. No, excuse me. It's the Jazz game. We've got to take. We're at home. We just got beat by 20 at our crib. That can't happen. We've got to take that frustration into this game. And Collison will be back. You know, my lean is Hawks to cover the spread. What is the spread at right now?
Well, it's up to 8 or 8.5.
Jay Shot says, love the Pacers and the under here. I've not heard one person say they like the Hawks. You know, I'm not going to jump in at this point.
Okay.
Would you have a lean? You think
not really. Although I certainly, I don't think that a guy like Goose would spaz out about a total like that unless there was at least something to it, Jim. I'm thinking the under might be a good play here.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's move on for right now. I might tail that one blindly. There is one bet that I did make, and I did bet Chicago +8, and it's now down to 7.5. It's just kind of like, you know, what's up with Chicago? Not exactly sure, but should Detroit be an 8-point fave over anyone? I don't know.
They shouldn't be. I'm on the Bulls too.
Yeah.
And we can thank the league for coming down on the Bulls for resting healthy players. Lopez Holiday will be back in the lineup. Important. Holiday's averaging 13 points a game. Lopez was posting up 12 points, 5 boards a game before he was exiled. Bulls stopped a 5-game losing streak by winning 2 of 3, coming off a 119-110 win at home over the Grizzlies. In that, their big 3, Markkanen, LaVine, Dunn. 22 for Markkanen, 21 each for LaVine and Dunn. They out-rebounded the Grizz 54-38. Pistons are coming off that overtime loss at home to the Raptors. Griffin went for 31, but just got 3 rebounds. Stick around the hoop, man. God, Griffin just if I was a Detroit, I like the Pistons, but I'm a Raptors fan. But goddamn, Griffin just angers me to no end. Pistons went 13 for 26 from 3. Raptors went 12 for 40 from 3, and the Pistons still lost. What a bunch of bums, man. They've lost 4 straight, 10 to 12. I'm on the Bulls.
Okay. I bet it at 8. It's now down to 7.5. How do you feel about that little line move? I'd rather get 8, but 7.5 probably okay, Jim?
I mean, I'd much rather have 8, and I hate that I'm taking 7.5, but I'll take it.
Okay. What's going on here? We're having notes. What's going on? You can just tell us. Johan. Okay. All right. Okay. Chicago +7.5, minus 105, and okay, I will take that one as well. I was also thinking about the the Detroit team total under, which is like 111. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I think that is probably that's got to be a good play.
Chicago +7.5, minus 105 is the line that we will take right now, and I'm just going to take. Actually, it's 110.5 at Pinnacle. Let me check to see what it is at. Yeah, Heritage has 110. Is Detroit suddenly going to ramp things up offensively?
I don't know. I'm going to spend a little more time on that team total, but I think you're absolutely on the right side there. But yeah. I'm going to spend a little more time.
Look, that was one that I bet, and I will throw that one on there as well. Team total under 110.5, minus 109. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Again, I bet this one at 111, and I took the Chicago line at +8. But all right, what do you like, Jim?
Well, first off, I'm going to do the opposite in this. Scares me of what Searcy, who just joined us, and we love you, Justin, man. Thank you for joining us. But he says Raps Rockets under whatever the total is, and I'm not on that. Tomor comes in and says I would not bet the Houston Toronto game under. I'm on the over in the Rockets-Raptors game, matchup between the conference leaders. I know Al Mack is also on the over in this spot. Rockets are coming off a 110-99 win at Milwaukee on Wednesday night, 17th win in a row. Raptors beat the Rockets 129-113 on November 14th in Houston. Rockets, remember that. Anderson was hoping to return from his hip injury tonight. He will remain out of the lineup. Capella is probable with a sore right calf. Joe Johnson and Nene are both expected to be back in the lineup. This is a game that means something to both teams. Obviously, it means more to the Raptors, and their depth was on display in that game against the Raptors. Anunoby missed his 4th straight game with a sprained ankle. Ibaka was ejected from the game in the second quarter. DeLon Wright left during the first half with a sprained right toe, and we still can take care of business. Anunoby and Wright are questionable to play. Norman Powell replaced Anunoby in the starting lineup for the second time 4 games, came up with one of the strongest games of the year, 17 points. We'll need him moving forward. Also, he's an excellent perimeter defender. We'll need him moving forward. board. This Rockets line, I haven't looked at this, so double check this, but I believe it opened as basically a pick'em, and money came in on the Rockets to move it to 2.5 and then back down to 2. I can understand people thinking the Rockets can take it here, but I'm much more comfortable with the over.
Okay, you want that one, Jim?
I do. Full game.
All right, the full game over is we're going to be able to give you a 220.5 minus 110. That's the current line at the Greek. Toronto over 220.5 minus 110. This is a tricky game. I'm definitely gonna revisit this in the 6 o'clock show. I want to see what the line movements are in this game because I was leaning over as well, Jim. But I'm gonna hold off on that one for now. And I was thinking about the first half over 2 on that one. All right, let's talk about Golden State at Portland. That line is dropped from 4 to 1, and that I guess is because Curry is out for Golden State, which is certainly interesting. Portland we know is playing better defense, and wow, I bet the under on this game at 227, Jim. I swear I'm not lying. It's now down to 218.
Come on, 9 points?
Wow, yes. I bet the under at 227, Jim, and it's now down to 218. Wow.
Jesus.
Wow, did I beat that line move like a boss. Holy shit.
That's the biggest line move I can remember
wow.
all year.
Wow. I don't know if I want the under now at 218. Damn, that one just moved like a couple hours ago. Damn.
Oh, fuck
Damn.
yeah.
Look
Thanks,
at that.
Big Dick
Oh,
Donnie.
God, look at this.
Starting the day off with a victory.
Golden State Portland Trailblazers under 227 minus 108 in my pending wagers. Wow, I beat that line move, Jim.
Jesus, that's impressive.
Oh, shit. All right, what are we going to do about this game now?
Well,
now that it's plus 1 and 218.
Sorry, the Blazers are just +1 now?
Yeah, well, because Curry's out. I also hit Blazers at +4.
But we knew that Curry was going to be out.
I know,
before.
that's what I was thinking. I assumed that the lines last night were accounting for Curry being out, but I guess not. Wow. Yeah, Jensen Bonzone saying Golden State. Sometimes Golden State does step up one because now Kevin Durant gets to show off a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
But Anon 101 says Klay Thompson's knee is sore. He'll get some rest tonight too. Has that happened? Because I'd be because the whole idea was that he was going to be the one defending Lillard. If that's what's happened, then that's why the line change has been so dramatic.
Yeah,
is that what
Tomer says? I think Portland goes off as the favorite. I love them here.
Wow, I need to see this. I just getting a little bit of last minute information.
Wow,
Klay Thompson dealing with hip soreness.
Yeah, wow. Portland probably does roll tonight.
Oh, I was on Portland. I'd rather have him a +4.
Yeah.
I will take him a +1. Yeah, just let me lock in Portland full game.
Yeah.
But we've just been talking about the line movement. Bill Butler says Draymond is going to carry Golden State. You know he's a great player. You know these guys like these opportunities.
Yes.
Without a doubt. But Warriors are on the second half of the back-to-back. Beat the Spurs 110-107 last night. 7th straight win. Curry gone for the next 2 games. Golden State's bench is shorthanded too, especially if Clay's not in the lineup. We know Iguodala, Jordan Bell, David West are all doubtful. Blazers coming off a dominant 111-87 home win against a bad New York Knicks team, but Lillard's just going off right now. 37 points, 8 for 11 from 3. The Blazers hit 20 for 33 from 3. They've now won 8 straight. Winning streak started with a 123-117 home victory over these Warriors, where Lillard put up 44. In the last 10 games, Lillard's averaging 35.4 points a game, shooting 48.9% from the field, 42.2% from 3, 87.8% from the free throw line. Yeah, man. Give me the Blazers full game.
All right, you want the Blazers on the full game? I guess I'm going to tail that one with you all. Wow. Okay, let's find the line here. The best line will be +1 minus 105. There are people in the comments though saying that they like Golden State tonight, and let's read those. All right, so Jim's going to take Portland +1 minus 105. Jim, why don't you scan for some comments for the people who are liking Golden State while I take a look at the second half line right now in the Cincinnati SMU game.
When to start the day.
Wow.
Cam Raphael says Portland beat Golden State at home last time they played.
Yeah, and they were a 6-point dog in that one, and that was a very high-scoring game. It went to 240.
Never go against the Warriors, especially in a revenge spot. My man Jeremy M says, I fucking told everyone the starters are getting rested today. Cam Raphael says, Livingston will start. Much better defender than Curry. Tomor says, Draymond Green is shooting horribly right now. Iguodala can't shoot with the wrist injury. West is hurt. Lillard is a different player in March and April. That is great comments. Q Wilson says, Curry is very fragile. Almost ladylike.
Yes, he is. Go ahead, Jim. I'm just looking at the SMU. Yeah, this one I can't.
Oh, what's Scotty Rock? Oh, there it is.
What?
I've never seen Scotty Rock go against his team, man. Scotty Rock, who's told us that the Warriors were going to win out. Remember that? Win out. Says, I took the Blazers as well. Says, and this is from a Dubs fan here, Hart can't get in the way of Cole Harkash.
All right, I'm going to pass it. No bet for me on the Cincinnati SMU game. Obviously, I'd have if you gave me a free play, I'd probably take Cincinnati minus 9.5 on the second half, but I'm not going to touch this one. No play on that one for me. All right, let's get back to NBA, Jim. Let's wrap this shit up somewhat soon. We do have a bunch of other games to get to, so you're going to take a Portland +1. I'm going to hold off on that one for now, although obviously I think you guys are all on the right side. What else are you liking, Jim, from today's NBA card?
There's a couple things I really like. I'm on the under, but what's the line change? I was kind of worried. What's the line change in the Jazz Grizzlies under right now?
Oh, yes, I took that one as well. I took it at 198.5, and that's now 197.5. That is a play that I bet on the overnight line, yes.
Yeah, I'd like it immediately, and I need to send this shit in fast. I've been making my plays here and then breaking them down with you and the chat, and that's why I'm succeeding, I think, in NHL and NBA. But then by the time I make my bets, the lines are fucking worse, and I don't know if I can keep doing that. But the Jazz got their 3-game road trip off to a nice start, 104-84 win at Indiana. Ninth straight road victory. Jesus. Now they're just 14-19 on the road. Man, they started this 5-19 on the road. Grizz are coming off 119-110 loss at Chicago. Grizzlies have now lost 15 in a row. I want them to lose 24 in a row. I want them to beat the Vancouver Grizzlies franchise record losing streak. By the way, now that we're talking about the Vancouver Grizzlies for a second, I would just like to say, fuck you, Stu Jackson. You ruined our franchise. I despise you more than any person involved in any sport. The Grizzlies now lost 15 in a row, worst record in the league. They've been battling a ton of injuries of late, most notably the guard Tyreek Evans. Last time he played was on January 29th in a 120-109 win over the Phoenix Suns. They've not won since. Evans is dealing with a cartilage tear in his ribs. He's going to be out for a while. Memphis also missing top 3 guards on their depth chart, top 3 point guards on their depth chart. How are they going to move on without this? I'm on Jazz, Grizzlies under full game.
I bet that one as well at 198.5. Now it's down to 197.5. We'll both take it. 197.5 minus 107. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Let's see. Other Donald Mao saying another win tonight with the help from the refs. I think he might be talking about Golden State here. Thinks that Golden State might get some help from the refs, which is not.
I think he's talking about the Lakers.
Oh, okay.
Because the Lakers got that gift.
Right. Okay, there you go. There you go. Yes. And Miss J is on Portland, minus 105. Intertops, baby. I might go on Portland with all you guys. I'm just gonna wait, just because it's so crazy. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit. And since I already bet Portland at +4, I'm gonna think about it. All right, what else are you liking, Jim?
Q Wilson says, no, Big Country did. No, it was Stu Jackson. He's the one that ruined our franchise. If he's still living in New York and you hear that somebody hurt him, I will have put a black mask on and I will have done the deed.
All right, let's move on. What else do you like, Jim?
Knicks Bucks under.
Yes. I was liking that one too, Jim.
Bucks are coming off a 110-99 loss at home to the Rockets, and Antetokounmpo looked good in the loss. Put up 30 points, 12 for 20 shooting, go along with 7 boards. Bucks are dealing with the Tyler Zeller injury, and they went small. I'm curious to see how often they do that. And Antetokounmpo was at center for a lot of the game. They've now lost 6 of 7. They're panicking. That's what this team is doing. They're panicking. They've now lost 6 of 7. Bucks are 20-14 at home. Knicks are coming off that ugly 111-87 loss at Portland on Tuesday night. Knicks have lost 13-14. They're now 1-9 since Porzingis was done for the year. Jarrett Jack has not played since the All-Star break. The league will come down on them if they're going to come down on the Bulls. I expect Jack and Courtney Lee to be back in the lineup. Mudiay looks awful. I don't know why they're doing this. They should go through the growing pains with Nicolina, who's also looked terrible. But Mudiay is just god-awful. 33% from the field. You know, the Knicks have been outscored by 21 points per 100 possessions when Mudiay is on the court. What a bum. Knicks are 8-27 on the road. Give up on that kid. Give Nicolina a chance, and I'm on the full game under.
All right, the line is weirdly headed up a little bit, so we can give you 214 minus 101. I don't know why that line would be headed up, and I was also thinking about the Knicks team total under once again at 102. What do you think about that, Jim?
My worry is if Bucks are going to continue to go small. I just don't know. I'm uncomfortable with what their pace is going to be like. I I do like this under in this game, but the one I'm just not sure how they're going to defend the Knicks right now. So.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to put both those in my leans column for now, and I'll make a decision in the 6 o'clock show. My leans are the under at 214 and the Knicks team total under at 102. Jim's going to make it official right now, under 214 minus 101. That's the current line at Pinnacle. What else are you liking, Jim? Someone said that Washington, New Orleans, he likes the over once again.
Yeah, I could. I get it. I don't have a play on this yet, but let's break it down. Pelicans won a franchise record 10 games in a row, and now they're going to have to win number 11, it looks like, without the services of Anthony Davis, who rolled his ankle. Listed as doubtful Friday night after the MRI on Thursday. So the Pelicans will lean on Mirotic, of course, who's been playing great, and Cheikh Diallo, but also Emeka Okafor, who's been out of the league for 4 years, and he actually hasn't looked that bad. 5.4 points, 5.8 boards in 16 minutes. He's smart guy, intelligent guy. I'm happy to see him back in the show. Pelicans are 17-12 at home. Wizards have beaten the Pelicans last 11 of 12 meetings, coming off an impressive 117-113 overtime home win. Bradley Beal put up 30. Otto Porter left the game with a bruised hip day to day. I'm not sure what exactly to do with this game, knowing that Davis won't be there, and I don't. Brandon Cummings says fade the Pels without Davis.
All right, we do want to wrap this up soon, not because we're on a time constraint, Jim, but just because I don't want this show to go on forever. Sure. What else do you like here, Jim? I'm thinking about throwing on the Knicks team total under right now anyway. May lost, pay lost ways. Yeah, you know what? I will take it. I'm going to take the Knicks team total under right now, and I might throw on the full game under as well. What else do you like here, Jim?
Well, there was no line because I had to wake up really early to cap these games. What's the line right now for Magic Kings? Because I think that we have to go back to our first quarter. Magic.
Yeah, it's a +3 or 3.5.
Okay, I'm going to take the Magic on the first quarter. They've just been doing this game in and game out. Now, I didn't want to do it because let me talk this out first. Fournier now is not going to be there. Aaron Gordon's not going to be there. This game, the volatility of this game is nuts because there's so many injuries. Sacramento dealing with it too. De'Aaron Fox and Willie Cauley-Stein are both dealing with back injuries. Are questionable, which would mean Bogdanovich and Hield will get big minutes. Bogdanovich missed all 6 of his shots against the Pelicans when scoreless. I think he's a great shooter, so I think he'll have a big game, big bounce back spot. He averaged 17.7 points in the 6-game run before missing all of his shots. Hield scored 11 points in the fourth quarter against the Pelicans. You know what? I'm take that. Maybe Nosley says Magic my line. I'm not going to make that first quarter play yet. Okay. I've got to figure out their pace without Fournier and Gordon in the lineup. I don't see how they're going to pull it off in that situation.
Okay. Of course, Anthony Davis is out. Lil Bibby says no Anthony Davis, no bet, no AD, no play. Nosley says Wizards roll, no Anthony Davis. You have anything to say about that game, Jim? We do want to wrap this up in a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, the Pelicans.
You're right, the Pelicans. Right. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean, as you were paying, I broke that game down already.
You what?
The Pelicans Wizards game?
We broke this game down already, Jim?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
When did we do that?
About 90 seconds ago. When you were telling me to speed up.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that. All right. What did we not get to, Jimmy?
Lakers Nuggets. Big game. Yeah. Lakers coming off 108-107, a home victory over Orlando on Wednesday night. They've won 6 of 7. Lonzo Ball, 16.6 boards, 5 assists. Kuzma also looking good, 20 points, 10 boards. Lakers are 13-20 on the road. This Denver team is hard to. They're just not playing consistent. Jokic played great against the Cavs, 36 points, 12-14 shooting. After he was called out, by his coach, he had scored a total of 22 points in his previous 3 games. Underdog status coming in saying Lakers, Denver, under 229, best bet of the day.
Lakers, Denver. I was thinking that way as well. Denver's an impressive team, but they haven't been winning ATS recently. They've been losing, and I was thinking the under in the Lakers Denver game as well. Even though Denver, of course, can be a stratospheric scoring team. Right now, sorry, I'm looking at the VCU Rhode Island second half, which is an interesting.
Stephen Hodge says here. Pete. Yeah. URI VCU over second half.
Okay, let me see what that line is right now. It's I don't know, man, 79. Ooh, that's a high. I don't know, man. I'm looking at this one. All right, Jim, do NBA while I crunch these numbers a little bit.
Well, what are you going to get from Jokic moving forward? I guess he's going to step up. He does when he's on national TV. He was called out. He scored a total of 22 points in his previous 3 games before going off after getting a lashing. He averaged less than 7 shot attempts in the 4 games before Wednesday, was benched in the fourth quarter against Dallas. I expect him to step up again tonight. Denver's lost 3 home games in a row. When was the last time we said that? It's been so long. They're such a good home squad. 2 straight overall after losing in Dallas on Tuesday night to the Cavs on national TV. They've blown second half leads in each of their last 3 losses. They're now 9th in the West. I find this a tricky spot. I find the Lakers a tricky team to cap as well. Although I've had some success, and we've had success on Nuggets first half. I'm concerned. Jeremy M says Lakers plus seems like good money. I'm feeling a tight, close game. Jeremy M says VCU +9, SMU +14.5, and both unders for me. Everything looking good. Nice work, man.
Very nice. Just seeing everyone liking the second half over in VCU Rhode Island. It makes me nervous. I hope you guys cash. I'm going to stay off it. No play for me on the VCU Rhode Island game. I would actually, my thoughts are to the under on this one, but everyone seems to be liking the over. Not exactly sure why. It's high total 79. I would be leaning under 79 +100, but I'm not going to bet it, and I hope you guys all cash on your overs. Everyone in chat liking the over on this one. All right, what else do you like, Jim?
Oh my God, Tiger's leading the tournament right now. Unbelievable.
I think he was like 30-1 or something.
Whatever it was, I know that I believe it was Dan Kelly put $25 or something.
Really?
Yeah, something on him.
He was a big underdog. Huge underdog.
Yeah, those are my official plays, and I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to hum and haw on this Hawks spot because I think guys might be right about the bounce back from the Pacers, which should be expected. And he said the under was the play of the millennium.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I certainly can see that being a solid play. Play of the millennium might be stretching it a bit, but solid play.
Did you take the under as well?
No, I did not. So although I'm thinking about it.
I'm definitely going to think about that. I'm also going to think about the Pistons team total under,
which I took officially.
Which you took officially, and then hit money coming in today. Great show today, great breakdown of the games, but don't bet anything but Pacers Bucks moneyline parlay. I promise that's the last time I say it. Funny, man. Interesting. Very interesting spot. I'm just going to stick with the plays I have, but those are the main 2 things that I'll be looking at adding on to the late card.
Okay. And now we should touch on college basketball. Well, did we talk about college basketball yet, Jim? No, I'm kidding around. That's a joke. All right. In the NBA, Jim has taken Toronto over 210.5. What else did he take here? He took Milwaukee under 214, Chicago +7.5, Portland +1, and the Memphis game under 197.5. And I took also the Memphis game under 197.5. The Knicks team total under 102. I took Detroit team total under 110.5, Chicago +7.5, and the Memphis game also under 197.5. And that's it for me in NBA. Yep. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Should we wrap this shit up?
We should wrap this shit up. We got a ton of capping to do all day. We have a giant show to come tonight.
Thank God, no UFC this week. Thank God. Thank you so much, no UFC, Jim. You don't know how thankful I am for that.
Yeah, it's a lot,
thank God, no UFC. But we are going to cap the rest of the college basketball card today, and we'll get to that in the 6 o'clock show. We'll review all the line moves in the pro games, NHL and NBA. What a week, Jimmy the Bag, and the March Madness, the NIT, the all the CITs, the CBIs, the NCAA tournament have not even started yet. Selection Sunday this Sunday. So exciting, right, Jim?
Very, very, very exciting. We're going to have so much to talk about moving forward.
How fun is it on Sunday night when the matchups are set and the early lines come out, Jim, and they start bouncing around? You know what I'm saying? A lot of those underdogs get hit early. We'll talk about that a little bit on Friday, in 6 o'clock show, because that'll be the last show before Selection Sunday, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be fun. 6 o'clock Eastern time, right here.